Hi guys. Everyone can see and hear us, but we don't hear you. That's the problem. So what to do?
Gibt es da ein Chatfenster? Kannst du es anschreiben, dass wir die nicht hören?
Yes, I don't know. Hi, can you hear us? Ты можешь мне постараться как-то помочь, что-то придумать?
Wenn die...
Edit out. Stop mic. No. Here is a chat. Not sure what is happening.
And how about now, Miss? Now?
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, very good. Let's fix this camera. 2 seconds. Here we go.
Sorry
Okay,
for the
let's check.
technical
Can you hear me and say something?
Can you hear me also?
Yes, we hear you guys very well.
Yay!
Nice.
Finally.
Great. Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. 2 seconds.
Sorry about
Something
that.
is move. Alrighty, let's see.
There you go.
There we go.
All right.
Alrighty.
Yay!
All right. Let's begin. So let's start with our first question. Anna and Artur. How did you two meet?
Well, how did we two meet? Actually, it was easy. We just met in the children's group in our first club, which we represented. And as Arthur loves to tell this story, he was entering the hall, and I was sitting in the split. This is this is his his memories from how he first met
picture
me.
I got from her.
Yes.
I just started dancing. We moved from Russia to Germany with my family, and I just started dancing. And it was like one of the first practices at all, but we were not dancing together. I was dancing with another girl, she was dancing with another boy. And I was just coming to the club, I was coming to the dressing room, and from the dressing room I could watch into the hall. And then I looked into the hall, and she was sitting in the split, like stretching and something like that. Like, you know, a small, thin girl with like white skin and
Nothing changed. Nothing
blonde
changed.
and like doing the split
Like an angel.
like a ballerina. And from that time I was already okay. I think I was 8 years old or something like that.
Yeah. So we met in the children's group in the first club, which we presented, as small kids, let's say like this.
Hörst du ihn?
No, not it.
Earlier,
Yeah, now we hear
that's-
you
that is
again.
beautiful.
Can you repeat, please?
I unmuted you.
Yes, there we go. So, as we found out earlier a few months ago, we know that Artur is a Zumba instructor. Artur, what inspired you to become a Zumba instructor?
Yeah, I already thought about it, that it was not so smart to say that, because actually I made a Zumba license because at that time it was like hyped in Germany. It became hyped in Germany, and at some dance camps I made some. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. At some dance camps, we made some Zumba classes as a warm-up. It was never like a real Zumba class, it was always like a warm-up. And I was thinking about it, it's fun to me, and maybe it would be also a great possibility like to earn some money. And then I made this Zumba license, and this was 3 years ago, and still I did not make a class or something like that. I made it on our own camps. We made it like a warm-up, but I did not organize it to make like a real class.
So there's no possibility of seeing you at a World Zumbathon convention.
I think not.
We won't be seeing you there.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Well, after this year, you never know, guys.
Yeah.
That is true. Yes.
It's crazy right now.
Never say never.
Exactly.
Moving on to your dance career, I would love to talk about your Infinity Show. What was the thought and the process behind your Infinity Show dance?
Well, first of all, we love to name our shows like words and symbols which are very which don't have just one meaning, so people can interpret how they understand it, how they like it, how they feel it, depending to their own lives. So we were inspired by the German ice skating couple, which was getting Olympic champions actually, and we loved this song because they used also the song which we used also in our show. And we started the research like, okay, what could we do? So what is actually infinite? It's like your love for something. Yeah,
What is an example of something that is forever, that is beyond infinity?
exactly. Yeah, so we thought, okay, our love for dancing, yeah, our love for music, and our love for creation, but also this infinite way, up and down. It's like a never-ending story, and we thought that this is so close to our souls. This is so close to our dancing way, actually, and yeah, we wanted to message exactly this to the public, to the audience, and it was also just I cannot actually remember who of us said this. Okay, it should be infinity, but we like this symbol and this word a lot. So it was like really, when you hear, for example, the name Beyonce, you know this is the queen. Wow.
That it's big, yes.
Yeah, and it stays, this name, it stays in your mind, it stays in your head. So we thought like, okay, infinity is something everyone understands in the world. Yeah, probably not the world exactly, but this symbol, the way of
The definition, the meaning.
Yeah. So this was actually, there were a lot of thoughts, about this. I cannot even say with which it started, but we got a lot of inspiration. So we put it all together to a whole story, which means, first of all, to us a lot. So this was the beginning of it, actually.
While you compete this Infinity Show dance, what kind of emotions do you feel? What runs through your head? What do you feel as you finish and take the bow, as the crowd is cheering you on and you place final in this? What do you feel inside?
Can I start? Or you want?
Yes, start, and I will say something at the end.
You know,
You will say something serious, and I will say something stupid in the end, okay?
But
Okay,
that's how partnerships go. That's
It is
You
how
know,
it is.
it's always like this. So you don't even need to say this. So for me, it's always, you know, this Infinity show. Let's say we updated and upgraded it somehow from competition to competition, because we felt like, okay, something is working better and something is working a little bit worse. So we wanted to make it better, yeah, to make an optimum. But from the emotional part, it's I was living it, you know. We danced it in the Worlds, we danced in the Kremlin in
Yes.
Moscow, and I just really literally felt how the tears are coming into my eyes when I know this is the last count of the show and now we have to go out of the floor. And also we had the year before, so it was 2019, yeah, we had the European also with this show, and I just couldn't
Yes,
hold
that is correct. I
myself.
remember.
I was just crying, and I don't know, I was so overwhelmed with the emotions.
Very emotional. It's a very emotional piece.
Yes, because you know, when it comes to the sound and you absolutely can feel the music and you can relate to something what happened in your life or to your imagination, it just touches you so deeply. And it was this moment where I don't know, I couldn't hold myself, so I was like, we were standing in this last position, you know, and I was like,
And the emotions just like, don't let that tear come down.
yes, I was like already so I was really into it.
I can only confirm because, like, on the last competition, I could bet that after each dance, she will cry at the end. It was like
That little piece of choreography there.
That'll do it.
It was not so active, it was always real, but it was always, I was standing there and I was thinking all the time, yeah, you will cry now.
Why is she shaking like crazy in this
The small details. Yes.
It's the little things.
Yeah.
One thing to your question, what is going through your head while you're dancing? We were dancing this show at 4 championships. It was two years. We danced European World. And then the last championship, it was the World in Kremlin in Moscow.
Yes.
The show, the choreography was already so much inside. It was like, it was already going through. It was flowing.
Right. You had it so many times. You practiced it so many times that you already felt the
don't
emotions.
need to think about it. Yes. The whole time before the championships, I still needed to think about some mechanics and holdings and so on, and to change from the Latin to the holding stuff and the contemporary stuff.
Lift.
And in Moscow, it was not that way. I was just enjoying. And the break between the first round and the final was like 6 hours or something like that. It was like forever.
That's a long time.
It was like forever. And then you need to deliver. You know, like now it's the final, now you go for it. Okay, and then we started, and the show was like 3:30. There was like the beginning, then some middle parts, and then the end, like the culmination. And like always in the beginning, I was totally into my idea, into the show idea, into the film, which is going through our minds. And then somewhere in the middle, I had one thought. It was like, I want to eat now. And then there were like, I think there were like 10 or 20 seconds where I had like this inner monologue where I thought, I want to eat right now. What should I eat right now? What could I let deliver after the championship? And then the next thought, like, oh, it's not the time to think now about that. Now I concentrate on the further. Okay. And then I was already in, and then already emotional, you know. But so, like, and through this inner monologue, I was still dancing. I was still
good.
I think we're the same. I think the same thing when I'm dancing.
And if you watch on the video, you see still in my face like all the emotions and everything. But I remember what I was
on the inside. He's thinking of,
what am I eating? What am I eating for lunch?
He was totally emotional. He was totally into the food.
Yes.
Yes. So focused on
And the final
Is it going to be McDonald's? Or are we
Lucky
going to do
me,
Zaxby's?
Cheeseburger, pizza,
out,
what are we
you
thinking?
know? Because he could think of chicken McNugget and like just leave me fall on the ground. Very good. Nice to know it, you know. At least now I know.
While he has you in the air, he's thinking of pizza.
Yeah. It was good to advise her while we're dancing.
All right, guys. So when you wake up and kind of get your day started, what makes you happy? What kind of thing makes you smile when you wake up?
Or you know, I'm this kind of person. I just need the sun. This is
Same.
this is my food, my everyday food. Air I don't need. Food I don't need. I need sun. So for me is really like the sunlight, the sunshine, and probably also this clear blue sky. I just love to see when I wake up that it's bright outside, you know, because in Germany it's so gray and rainy. So when I wake up, it's always like, oh damn, is it night or is it already morning? I don't understand. So this why I would say definitely sun and blue sky.
That is beautiful. Very philosophical. What about you, Artur?
Actually, for me, the same. It's like the colors. I like to wake up and to see out of the window like the bright sun, the blue sky, and of course the green eyes which are next to me every morning when I wake up.
That is beautiful.
Same.
What would you guys say was the most memorable performance in your career so far?
Most memorable. What do you
Memorable.
think?
I think it's still the same competition, right?
Yes. Oh, three.
Uh,
1, 2, 3.
Lawrence.
World Championship love is in China. Yes.
Oh.
First World Championship which I danced in show dance, and it was actually also the first official championship where we represented Germany.
Okay.
Wow.
That is impressive.
Yes. I think before we also did not dance European Cup or World Cup. It was also after.
Yes.
So it was the first official championship. It was in China. Till then we were already in China, but not so often. So it was already like a long way.
Sure.
And it was the first time show dance, which was a completely new experience.
Super exciting.
Anna will tell right now. Anna will tell about the emotional stuff in the final. I will tell about the emotional stuff before the first round. So.
Does it have anything to do with food?
No.
Okay.
Not in China.
Okay. No, in China they have good food, so I don't know. Давай.
We were standing next to the floor. The couple before us was already dancing. We were waiting for our time.
Turn.
And we were holding hands, preparing mentally for the dance. And it was the first time we were representing Germany on the official championship. It was the first time we were dancing a show dance. It was the first time we danced the Love Is choreography on the floor. And we were holding hands, and we were already like experienced couple. We danced a lot of competitions and like big competitions and so on. We were holding hands, and she asked me, "Are you nervous?" And I was watching her and say, "Of course not." And then she asked me, "Then why your hands are shaking that much?" And then I was looking down to my hands, and it was like this. And I was looking down to my feet and legs, also shaking the whole time. And I was thinking, "Fuck, what is going wrong? What is happening with me?" But then it went everything good.
Yes. Yeah, you know, it was very exciting because it was this first official show dance experience and championship, and it was so far away, and somehow we still felt a little bit the jet lag in the body, you know. So it was totally an emotional up and down, and it was so responsible, to be the one couple on the floor, you're alone and you represent your country. So it was really, we felt this responsibility. And also because we never competed before this 3.5 minutes on the floor, like pushing and pushing. So everything came together. And you know, as Arthur was telling already, we danced a lot of competition, so we were an experienced couple. But I was going on the floor, guys, and I felt like a total beginner in just going on high heels.
Really?
Because I was shaking like this, and I was talking to myself like, oh my God, calm down, girl, what's happening with you, you know? I was going on the floor and I was shaking. I was thinking there is an earthquake or something like this, because it was so unusual. And really, I think this was, you know, from the emotional part, this is a competition I will remember forever. And also when we stood there in this kiss and cry area, and you get your points, and somehow, of course, we understood we are not the let's say the couple which could win, because there were couples which were more experienced in this competitive style, in the show. And then we stood there totally exhausted of everything what happened before, like this trip and training and everything.
Exhausted, right? Yes, very tired.
Yes, and the emotions came over, and then there was this point, and the last is the number, the place, and it was like first, and we were like, what? Directly.
It was a big achievement. It was a big day for you guys.
Yes, it was
a memorable moment.
In the end, we became second, but it was, this moment was so full of emotions, and it was somewhere, not just here, it was here, everywhere.
Here, everywhere.
Yes, and we felt also the public so much, and it was just incredible. It will stay forever, I think, in my heart for sure. This experience.
That is, I wish every dance couple to go through that, to feel that feeling in their heart, in their head, and all the emotions. I expect after that moment, your parents, your coaches, all your supporters were very proud of you. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, none of them could be with us because it was so far away, but yeah, my mom was sitting all the time and crossing the fingers. She was writing, and there was also this time difference, so they woke up earlier to write me a message before. So it was lovely. Yeah.
It's amazing. All right, Anna and Artur, thank you so much. We will see you later in this marathon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. See you later.
Thank you. All right, I want to introduce Errol and Veronica. They represent Ukraine, and most recently they placed second at the European 10 Dance Championships this year, 2020. Errol and Veronica, welcome.
Hello, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Everyone.
Doing very well. How's the weather today in Ukraine?
Well,
actually, we're not in Ukraine right now.
Where are you guys?
Right now, when it's Corona, normally we're traveling back and forth from Denmark and from Ukraine, because I've been living in Denmark for the last 13 years, and then when this Corona hit, we were kind of this side of the border, and then we had to kind of choose: do we stay here? Do we go there? Where do we go? Because we're going to get stuck no matter where we are.
Oh, well, in that case, how's the weather in Denmark?
Cold. Very cold.
Today,
very
first
cold.
time it was minus.
Yeah, this morning when we woke up, it was just ice everywhere. There was white fog.
All right, guys. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about the European Championship that happened just a few months ago. When you realized that you made the final of the European Championships just a few months ago, what was going through your head?
Well, I can say, at least from my side, I mean, it was it was a huge experience. Also because of just the whole situation and because of how the world was and all of the uncertainty. I mean, for us, the previous year we had danced our first ever together European Championship final and also World Championship final. So of course we were hoping, of course, to make the final again this year. But then the dates being moved, there was so much up in the air about whether the competition could even be held. And then finally, for it actually to be held and be standing there and then be calling us on the floor for the final, it was fantastic. It was absolutely amazing. It's really, really cool.
It's always very nice to dance finals of such big events, of different European or World Championships, because the atmosphere, of course, this tension throughout the entire day, and you're getting tired and it's quite tough. But then when finally you get to the final and you have solo dances and you have people cheering for you and you have all this awesome lighting and everything, that's just great. It was really awesome to dance.
I mean, for us, we had a lot of people there that were supporting us because, of course, I have a lot of students here in Denmark. I mean, we have a lot of students here in Denmark.
Sure,
and
yes.
as well, also from Ukraine as well. We had a whole bus that came from Ukraine together with Ukrainians.
Oh, this was this totally separate story.
A big fan section.
Yeah,
cheerleaders.
Давай, Veronica!
The issue was, I have one. I call them family. They're my students and my colleagues, but I call them family. This
It's a big dance family.
Yeah, these people, they are following me since 2013. For
Oh,
all
wow. Impressive.
championships.
They're a hardcore fan base. Let's put it that way.
They're cheerleaders, you know.
Cheerleaders, yes.
No, but
We're just missing the halftime performances, and then
That's right. We have to do
You know,
it.
you guys can choreograph that.
During
for them, I'm
nationals
sure.
or world championships, we need to do a nice halftime performance. We have, like Anna said, bring Beyonce.
Beyonce, maybe even I'm thinking a mascot as well. I don't know.
We
I've
can do
always
that. We could.
my American side of me has always loved eagles, so let's go with an eagle mascot as well.
An eagle, we do that. The bald eagle, yes.
No, but if we speak seriously, then these people, our students and our colleagues, and also including my mom, my trainer, they're usually following us everywhere on our main competitions of the year. I mean, me before with my previous partner, and now also together with Errol. And it was a huge issue because all the borders during European Championship were closed. So basically, no one could get out of Ukraine.
You didn't have the fans, all the support.
No, but this time, even it was not allowed, they somehow figured out the way. They drove for 26 hours. They had a special road throughout entire Europe just to arrive to our European Championship and cheer for us. So
that is an amazing family. That's commitment.
That was
a commitment. And so we had half a hall was with the Danish flags, and the other half of the hall was with Ukrainian flags. So honestly, it was a great atmosphere, and even it was tough, but it was still not enough of dancing. We wanted to dance even more and more.
It's really quite a strange feeling. I think anyone who's actually competed in a world championship final, it's you have so much build up to this moment, and then you're finally there. You're dancing this final, and it's almost surreal. It's like you just want it to last longer, but the minutes just go away like so fast, and then you're standing there and you're like, oh my god, we did it. We were in the final. It's like, whoa. Yeah, it's pretty surreal.
It was good.
Wow.
It was nice. I can very, very highly recommend it for anyone.
Make the final of the European or World Championship. You will enjoy it.
Yes.
I bet. One day we'll get there.
We'll see.
Now, this question is meant a little bit more for Errol.
Mm-hmm.
As you were growing up, through your childhood, did you ever imagine that one day you would be sharing the floor of a final of a European Championship with your brother and sister?
You know, it's funny actually, because I mean, people who know of me and who know of my family, we're all pretty dance crazed, you could say. I mean, I'm one of 4 siblings, and we all dance on a very, very high level. And it was funny because when we were growing up and we were dancing in actually at that point, I was born in USA, and then I grew up in Australia. And then after Australia, I moved to Denmark. And so when I was dancing my juvenile career and junior career in Australia, you know, Errol, he was always kind of one category under me, and Amy, she was just tiny at that point. She was just doing her medalist program.
Right.
And Errol, actually, he was the first one that came up with it in the family. He came to my mom and dad, and he said, you know, Mom, Dad, I was thinking. And they're like, okay, yeah, what is it, Errol? And then they said, you know, well, actually, when we're older, I want, you know, then we can all just be 1, 2, 3, 4 in the final.
There you go.
So actually for the World Championship, you know, it's fine. Then we can just do like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then after the first one's won, then it's no problem. Then they can you know, stop, and then the second one can win, and then we'll just continue like that. And I think he was 8 years old or something like this by that point. But it was so funny. And actually,
it's cute.
Ever since then, it's just been kind of a laughing joke inside of our family. You know, could it actually happen? And then,
true.
And then now, actually, it's made it a little bit easier now that Errol and Amy are dancing together. So at least it's not 3 couples, but it's only 2 couples.
So one more person has a chance to be on the podium. Someone else.
It's like the ultimate sibling rivalry.
Yeah. Which sibling?
Exactly. But I mean, in the end, I mean, we train very, very hard, and we're quite lucky, I guess, in this way, the fact that we train on a day-to-day basis next to also Errol and Amy when we're here in Denmark. And in this way, we're here to be able to push each other at the level and be able to push each other to reach new heights. And of course, at the same time, afterwards, we're brother and sisters again. I mean, you know, my younger sister will always be my younger sister. I mean, so I still get to tease her. And
family before everything, yes.
Exactly. But in this way, I think in my family, when we're professional and we're on and we do the job 100%. And then, of course, we just forget it. And as soon as we're outside of the hall, we had
goes back to family.
We had Thanksgiving last night together with all my family, and you know, it was nice. So you know, in this way, it's good that we're able to actually still talk shop, you can say, with the dancing, but at the same time, we enjoy it and are a family at the same time.
That's true. It's beautiful. So, if you could learn another language, what would it be and why? That's a good question.
No,
tell us.
Ever since I was a small kid, I had this really this like fascination with like Russian or, you know, Eastern European language.
All right.
For me, it sounded so foreign, and it was so just strange compared to what I grew up with. Because of course, growing up in America, English, Australia, also English, slightly different, but still English technically. And then, of course, coming to Denmark, it was like a huge eye-opener in terms of, oh my gosh, there can actually be another language as well. But I still had this kind of always this fascination with Russians and Eastern European language, you can say in this way, because every time, whenever I was growing up, going to, even as a junior competitor, going to Blackpool or going to the World Championships, or you hear Russian all the time. Like all the time. It doesn't matter which country they represent. There's some Russian who's a part of the party. But so for me, I looked at them and I was really, really, really jealous because I wanted to be able to speak this strange language that no one else could understand. But then I started to actually understand that, well, if half the world speaks Russian, then everyone understands them. It's just me that can't understand them.
Right, that's true.
So, and now, of course, since actually partnering up together with Veronica, I've started to have the chance of actually starting to learn Ukrainian. And so I would say the language that I would like to learn the most is actually Ukrainian. Because
and the reason is because he wants to communicate with my mom.
That's sweet.
That's so sweet.
Is this predicting the future somewhere?
Never know.
Because my mom, of course, she's a judge and she's a trainer, and she understands English, but as most of the people in Ukraine, she is not doesn't have a courage to speak English. So in the end, when she has some dancing comments to me or Earl, she says it in Ukrainian or in Russian. And then Earl is just looking at her with the big eyes, and he's like, did you say I was good or I was bad?
I understand. I've been there.
Yes.
Yeah. So and also, I mean, for example, when we're in Ukraine and I'm training also some of the students there and things, at her mom, she has a very big club there in Uzhhorod. And when I'm working together with some, especially the younger kids, they also don't speak English at all. So I need to somehow also communicate with them.
Find a way, right, to communicate.
And just, you know, be a part of the local culture and things like this. You have to understand the language. I mean, when I first came to Uzhhorod, I remember I tried to take a taxi. I didn't understand anything. And the taxi driver didn't understand anything. I had to like try to call Veronica and get her to speak to the taxi driver to even say the name of the address where I needed to go. And now actually I can take a taxi. I can say the numbers. I can communicate even on
impressive. Congratulations. That's nice.
So I wouldn't say I can speak the language yet, but it's definitely on my list of to-dos, and I definitely want to take more and more time to be able to learn it. So, it's a fantastic country.
Ukrainian.
Yeah, Ukrainian.
That's amazing. All right, so I'm sorry, continue.
No, for me, I really would like to start actually speaking Danish, because
Danish, nice.
because I know a few languages, but
okay, when she says a few languages, this you have to understand, yeah. So she says to me, she's like, yeah, you know, I speak, you know, just a little bit of this and that, and I was like, oh, okay, so what do you speak? And she's like, well, you know, I speak English, and I speak Ukrainian, and I speak Russian, and I was like, oh, okay, perfect. But I speak Slovakian.
No, I understand Slovakian.
And I can I speak German. And I also, you know, I can actually speak also Italian as well. And
Italiano, parli italiano?
So, and now she basically, when she came to Denmark, already after it was on our first training camp, it was after 1 month of dancing together. And I'm like, literally, I walk up to my sister and Bjorn, my sister Ashley and Bjorn, and I say like, okay, guys, let's just speak a little bit of Danish here and watch. And they're like, what? What do you mean? And I was like, and I was speaking, da-da-da. And then I turned to Veronica and I was like, okay, so what were we speaking about? And she said like word for word what it was we said. She had never heard Danish in her life and she understood it. I was like, are you kidding me?
That's so funny.
No, but the issue is I can understand when people speak, but again, I don't have enough courage actually to speak back in Danish.
But we're standing in the middle of a parking lot in Germany, and she's saying, no. We were just having a huge conversation after we were driving back from a training camp. We were parked there, and we needed to get direction somewhere, and we had no idea. We were a little bit lost. And she's just been telling me how she doesn't speak German. She can't speak German, everything. I was like, you speak German. She's like, no, I don't. So then we stop. All of a sudden, somebody knocks on the window, says in German, hey, do you want some help? Blah, blah, blah. She has a 5-minute conversation with them in German.
Oh my gosh.
Understands exactly where we need to go, what we need to do. And then I turned to her, I'm like, you don't speak German? She's like, no.
You don't. Where did this come from? Excuse me. Are we gonna pretend like this didn't happen? She's humble.
No, it's just, I can actually. I figure out about myself. I can do many things under pressure. If I have no other choice, then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna speak any language I ever heard if I need. But if I have a solution to speak English, then I always go from the easier side.
But let's just put it this way. Veronica, she has an amazing ear for languages. So I think for her, when
that's an amazing skill set to have as a human being. That I applaud you for that, Veronica.
You guys just need a schedule, you know.
A schedule.
You need a schedule to learn. You know, like on Mondays you'll speak Ukrainian, Tuesdays you'll speak Danish. You know, if you don't
in one day.
You don't really speak any. You know, too bad. You're gonna learn. You know.
For breakfast we speak German. For lunch we're gonna speak Italian. For dinner, Ruski.
Repetition. There you go.
You're joking right now, but actually 2 years ago, I had some little injury, so I didn't spend so much time with the dancing, like practicing as many hours as I could. And actually, I made a schedule for myself that in the
There you
morning I
go.
was reading German book, in the afternoon I was reading Italian book, and in the evening I was taking something in English. So actually, it's not a joke. I was doing it.
Exactly that.
Wow. Here, I will give you a quick Italian lessons. If there are any other Italians on board, I'm sorry, I'm correct. You need to learn Forza Juventus. Okay? It's the #1 soccer team. Don't let anybody else tell you difference. Forza Juve.
Okay.
I have a feeling there might be a few people from Napoli and some of the other teams that, AC Milan, things like this might be slightly disagreeing.
That will stop watching
Listen,
now.
if Gabriele Goffredo is on, who's also Juventino, who's Forza Juventus, he's gonna back me up. Forza Juventus, always.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, guys. So for our final question, I'd like to ask you, Earl, where in the U.S. did you grow up?
Well, actually, I mean, for me, you can kind of say I was born in California, in Northern California,
Okay.
I believe it is, in Silmar, which is I guess, small city. I've never actually been to Silmar, but I looked it up when I was over there in California, and it's a very small city apparently. But I moved when I was very young, about 18 months old. So of course I didn't really know California at that time. I moved to Idaho, and Idaho, a little rural country town of Bowie, which is I believe at that point there was maybe around 10,000 people or something like this. That was the size of the city. My mom, she had a dancing school there, and my father, he had a job he was working with there and everything. And then basically from there, then we had a very, very brief stunt because my father, he got a job in Provo in Utah. And so actually my mom, she ended up and she was like, okay, this is crazy. I have a dancing school here. I'm here with the kids, but my father, he was working 5-6 days of the week in a complete another city by himself. So she said, this is ridiculous. Let's just move there. And then, maybe I can try to find work there, things like this. Then we moved there, and then my father's company went bankrupt.
My Italian teacher just commented
Oh,
on
yes.
the last year. My Italian teacher just commented.
We'd like to give a nice hello to Cristiana. Buonasera. Forza Juventus.
And then actually from there, then the company that my dad had been working for, he was like regional manager or something like this. It went bankrupt all of a sudden. And so then he stood there without a job. My mom was without a job. We had just moved to another city. We had completely nothing, basically, had built up a life in that city. And then my mom said, because my mom's Australian, and she said, okay, this is ridiculous. We're here. We're fighting to try to find work, everything like this. Let's try. I've been here in America 20 years. Let's go to Australia for 20 years and try our luck there. And then that's basically how we ended up then moving to Australia. And then after one year of absolutely terrorizing our parents about how much we wanted to dance, we completely stopped dancing when we moved to Australia, all of us. After 1 year, we were like, come on, we want to dance, we want to dance, we want to dance. Then finally my mom was like, okay, fine then, start dancing. And then from then on, we've just been dancing our whole lives, all of us.
Oh, wow. Okay. That is beautiful. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you later on in this marathon.
No problem.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you soon, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
All right. Before we introduce to you our next guest, I would like to give a quick shout out and thank you to Mr. Vladimir Karpov, who's online joining us from New York, Mr. Anton Belyayev from Canada, Mr. Ken Richards, who's joining us all the way from Delaware, Ms. Violeta Yanova from Bulgaria. Thank you so much for joining, guys.
All right, moving on. This couple was a bronze medal finalist at the European Dance Championship this year. From Denmark, give it up for Errol and Ami Williamson.
Hello, guys.
Hey,
Guys, how are you?
Hi. We're going all right, thank you.
How's the weather today in Denmark?
It is Denmark.
It is
correct?
Denmark.
Right?
It
Cold,
is
cold.
way too cold.
Yeah.
I want summer back home.
I prefer 40
Are
degree
those
weather
the
for
national
sure.
Denmark jackets?
Yes.
Yes.
They are.
Oh, they look nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's begin. All right, guys. Where do you see, since you two are siblings, which, by the way, I find amazing, and that is very impressive. I'm a family man, all about family, so I think it's beautiful you two are dancing together. So I ask you, what do you see are the advantages to dancing with your sibling?
Yeah.
It's a quite tough, tough question.
I would say when it comes to training and with your sibling, I think yeah, I mean, I think there's several things that are quite positive about it. The first thing for me is that a lot of these experiences that we have together, that we share together, you know, you're actually able to look back on throughout your life, because, you know, at a later point, I think you're also, you know, we can also laugh about certain experiences that we've had before that we thought were, you know, crazy or something that was funny, or, you know, oh my gosh, it was so, you know, maybe in the moment it was quite stressful, and then later on you look back and you think, oh, this is such a great experience actually. And I think these experiences that we can actually share this with each other and also grow together, I think is a really positive thing from my viewpoint, because it's not always. Sometimes you dance with a partner maybe during your career, and then afterwards it's not for sure that you end up seeing that person. I mean, you see that person maybe in the dancing world every so often, but I think it's in a different sense.
Yeah. No,
that's beautiful. And Amy, and your thoughts?
I was gonna say another thing. I think also that when it is that if it is you have any types of discussions, or, you know, if there's something with the communication, I think also that when it's with the sibling, I think we get over it within 5 minutes. I don't think we actually stay angry at each other for very long. I think we're pretty good friends. I don't see I don't see there being, you know, huge issues for long periods of times. I think if there's a spat, there's a spat, and afterwards we're, you know, yeah,
maybe a couple hours, then afterwards then you kind of settled.
Yeah.
No, I would also say, yeah, it's amazing the fact that we know each other so well. We know each other like in the goods and the bads, and we know exactly which buttons to press. We know exactly what buttons not to press in practice.
Of course, that button is the more important one. Okay.
No, it's true. So I would also say that it's extremely amazing to be able to dance and to be able to, like you said, to be able to experience these things. Yeah,
exactly.
I think it's so awesome that you guys are siblings and that you guys are doing this. I know if I were dancing with my sibling, we would not be European 10 dance finalists, to say the least. So I think it's so awesome that you guys can do that together.
Yeah. Cool.
Now, earlier we heard that.
I have to also say that we also started dancing together once we were adults. So it's I do also feel there's a difference. There's a sense of maturity. A
little more maturity. That's true. Yes, there you go.
And I feel like we're able to actually do it in a professional sense when we're practicing or when we're competing and these types of things. And a little bit like what Errol said, I think we're getting better at dividing the things, so that when we're on the floor, and when we're off the floor again, there's we're back to being brother and sister again, and I can tease her all I want.
There you go. That's how you do it.
There you go. Now, earlier, I'm sorry.
No, I would have just said that actually it's quite funny because, like he's saying, I think the maturity actually had a lot to do with it, because if you'd known us, for example, when we were younger, like, I don't know, 10 years old, 12 years old, whatever, around that, we would be here 3 hours to hear all the stories. Not be around us. So so I think it had a lot to do with actually when we started the partnership and how mature we had gotten, and the fact that we're actually able to also mature together throughout this career. I think that's it's amazing.
Now, previously, your brother mentioned that he was born in the U.S. Were you two also born in the U.S.?
Oh, it's a very interesting story. But I think, like he said, he explained a bit at the beginning what happened, and we were traveling around, not traveling, but let's say we were during our childhood, we were growing up in different cities, and I was born in Idaho, in Burley, Idaho, small town there, and that was at the time that our mom had the dancing school. And then after that, I think he said that we moved to Provo, and then from there we moved to Perth in Western Australia,
which is where I was born,
and that's where Amy was born.
So
yeah,
so I'm Australian, they're American, you know.
Yeah, so
Let's level it.
so it's a bit mixed backgrounds.
Yeah.
But-
So what I noticed was, so only one of you has the chance to become the president of the United States. Only one.
Yeah, I also wanted to mention, all three of you have different accents.
Right.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know.
Earl has the American accent, Amy has Australian, I think.
Yeah.
And then you have Danish.
I was a little surprised.
It's a worldward family.
Yes,
You know?
I brought Earl on and I hear American and I'm like, whoa, okay, I like it. All right, guys, so let's moving on to a topic in the segment of training. Okay, let's talk two segments, physical and mentally. How do you two, let's take for instance the European. How did you guys physically prepare and how did you guys mentally prepare?
I think if we take the first one in terms of the physical training, I think that I can't remember what it was. I think in 2019 they did a study inside DanceSport to just find out about what percentage of athletes actually were doing physical training on top of their normal dancing training, and they found, I think it was 10 or 15% actually of the total amount of athletes inside DanceSport are doing this. And of course, if you take into consideration ages and stuff like this, I think you need to take this into consideration. But I think as a general thing within dance sport, I think we should prioritize. Inside we talk about Team Denmark. Yeah, inside Team Denmark, they have a certain sports model that they call the Danish model, and this model they try to go after in the different, even though it's different sports, they try to go after this as an organization. And this Danish model is about actually working on what they call the whole athlete, and that means that it doesn't just consist of, for example, physical training, but it also consists of mental training. It consists of technical training. It's all the different areas, and not just inside the dancing, but also even out of the dancing, also trying to improve in other areas of your life. So you don't become only a top dancer, but in the end you actually become a very balanced person. And so I think this is important.
You want to be good at
up towards the Europeans, we also tried to. Firstly, as a general thing, I think it's important to prioritize the physical training to become a very well-rounded athlete. But at the same time, I think, especially because of the 10 dance, I think it's more important to prioritize the physical training than maybe it would have been.
Of course, because we have to double
discipline.
People also say that, most people say that it's like running a half a marathon. Doing a 10 dance world championship or a European championship, it's the same. Like, you have around 8 rounds that you have to do, and it's 2-minute dances. It's insanely physically hard and tough.
Of course, yes,
it's demanding for the body.
It's important that you prioritize that, because it's that tough that you have to be prepared for that.
Yeah. And this is my feeling. And my feeling is that inside dance sport, I think we need to prioritize more the different areas than just the technical side of it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes. No, I was going to say in terms of the mental, I would say also that this is relatively important. I think both in terms of us, what we are both good at, and also what we can improve on is terms of the communication between the couple. And I think also when I look at both our future, but also at other couples, I think that this also needs to be an area that can help the couple improve a lot faster. If it is that you work on the communication, you actually take lessons with psychologists, sports psychologists, talking about how do we speak together, how do we manage a practice, how do you run a practice, how do you build up these different things, what type of build up should you have. I think it helps a lot, and it can help a lot with the improvement of the couple. And it's definitely something that I feel that we're getting better and better at with time.
Yeah, I would also just add, I think that, like he's saying, we're two different people, and all of us were two different people, and we're trying to, of course, go towards the same goal, but it's not always that the personalities and stuff like this are 100% the same. So also the way that you speak to each other, it could be that the one thinks that they're speaking very harshly to the other one, but actually it's just the way that they're speaking and communicating to the other person. So
the scale tones of the human.
Exactly. So I think that's very important. Very important.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome, guys. Well, I'd like to thank you so much for your insights and your perspective. I think it was amazing. We will see you later in this marathon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. I would like to personally introduce this next couple. I have known this couple many years. They inspire me every day. I had the pleasure of staying with them during the German Open. We trained together. Ladies and gentlemen, representing the country of Bulgaria, we have Kostadin and Roberta.
Hello.
Hello, guys. How are you today?
Fine. It's okay.
Perfect.
How's the weather? How's the weather today in Bulgaria?
In Bulgaria,
it is Bulgaria.
Today is really good. In Bulgaria, it's really good today. It's not so cold, but I think in Sicily it's better.
No, in Sicily it's really bad. No, it's bad. Today it's rain all the day since this morning. Now, always.
It's because I'm not there.
So for those of you unfamiliar, Roberta is a Sicilian and Kostadin is Bulgarian. So you guys, Roberta, are you in Sicily and Koki is in Bulgaria?
Yes, we are separated.
Oh, has this been during the entire quarantine?
No. I was here just this week to have some work to do in Bulgaria, and then I come to Sicily.
Okay. All right, let's begin. I would love to hear perspective on this first question. What do your coaches mean to you?
Well, if you want Roberta, start you. You're the lady.
Davai, ladies first.
Yes. Everybody know who are our coaching, Salvo and Violeta. I can say their name, no? Okay, I do it. So, and I know them since 2007. They were my first teacher. So they teach me all from the basic to be a good person. All of what I am today is thankful for with them. And today I have to say that work with Salvo is really, really difficult, guys. So if you meet in 2007, it's really, 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 really a workout. Okay.
Yes.
It's better than Salvo. I can say this because she is a woman. Also, she always catch my hair, streets my hair, but it's okay. And it's normal that with them we have negative and positive things like a family. We have some problems, we don't have problems, but it's a reason when you feel protected, supported about someone, okay? And it's our case. I will be always thankful with them because they teach me a lot and all them knowledges and this. And without them, probably I wouldn't be the person who I am today. Yeah.
That is understandable. A lot of dancers tend to have a father feeling or a mother feeling to their coaches. Would it be able to describe it?
Yes, of course. And he always have a place in my heart, and they are really, really important for me. Yes.
That is beautiful. Koki, if we could, Kostadin, if we could have your perspective on it.
You can call me Koki.
I've known him for forever, so I keep saying Koki. It's Kostadin.
Well, for me, it's really important the coach, because you spend more time with them than with your family. So I'm really happy that last 6 years I'm with Salvo and Violeta, because Violeta brings me the best of me, and she's like
the best of everyone. She's Violeta Janeva.
Yeah, she's Violeta Janeva, and it's really cool. I can go to her for advice in every situation, even if it's dancing or in the real life. So I really like this. And for Salvo, I learned from him so many crazy routines, so many crazy stuff that only
alla Salvatore Todaro.
Yeah, only he can do this, and this is really cool. And in personal life, I think he's the best man who can dress really good. So I really look to him how when I need to dress myself, I look to Savo pictures and stuff like
Of course, it's Don Todoro. It's Don Todoro. He's a Sicilian
it's
man.
the best. And yeah, for me they're really important. So I wish to every dancer to find his own coach. You know, because you can have with a lot of teacher lessons, but one is your main coach. So it's really important to find the perfect match.
Yeah, I was lucky because I met them the first time. In the first, I was lucky because when I was 7 years old, I have my dance school 2 meters from my house. So it was really lucky girl, I can say.
I need to go with the plane to have lessons with them, but it's okay.
Beautiful. Now for our final question. This is a very philosophical question. I would like to ask you. You guys are I can see from my perspective as your friend, you guys are very committed, very loyal, and very dedicated to the sport. And as our fans, your fans watching, so I ask you, what do you feel is the biggest sacrifice you have made for your dance career?
Okay, Robbie, go.
Oh, as always. Okay, I think that when you love what you do, you don't do sacrifices. It's normal that when you are a teenager, it's difficult because you see your friends go outside, you see that you go time with your family how you want, how you need, like a teenager. But when you love what you do, you can go everywhere because you know that them be always with you. Okay, and I think that the biggest sacrifice, my parents did the biggest sacrifice, not me, because
they support you in everywhere financially. They're always there for you traveling. That's
so
good.
So I love what I do, and yes, it's a sacrifice when I don't go out with my friend or when I don't do the 5 a.m. in the morning because the next day I have to practice. But it's okay.
It's because of the love that you have so much for this sport, right?
Of course, you have to respect all the rules. Nothing go down from the sky. So
well, I actually agree with Roberta. For us, I think we don't do the sacrifice because we do what we love. I think more the sacrifices from our parents and even our teachers because I'm really thankful that Violeta and Salvo, they never put a clock and you go 45 minutes and then you stop. They give from their time to us, and for my personal experience, my parents moved from Bulgaria to Germany to work to support my dancing. So yeah, I think we're just doing what we love. So yeah.
Amazing, awesome. That is, I love those answers, guys. All right, guys. So we say goodbye for now, but we will see you guys very soon in this marathon. All right.
Okay.
All righty, guys. Now, in this part of this marathon, we will begin a group discussion. We will ask one question, and we will see how each of the couples respond. So back to our floor. Our first couple from Germany, we have Artur and Anna. Second couple from Ukraine, we have Errol and Veronica. Third couple from Denmark, we have Errol and Amy. And our fourth couple, we have Kostadin and Roberta. Long time no see, guys. Long time.
A big group here.
All right, guys. I have one question for all of you, okay? And I would love to know. Who inspires you? We'll go in this order, okay? We'll go Artur and Anna, Errol and Veronica, Roberta and Koki, and then Errol and Amy. Okay, guys, who inspires you? Now, while we answer this question, I ask that each of us will be on mute, except for the person that doesn't talk. Example, like on Zoom, okay? All right, Anna and Artur.
I'm inspired by Errol because I would like to speak English the same way like him.
Beautiful answer.
Guys, I'm getting inspired, to be honest, from from our teachers and coaches. So because I love them so much, and I really, you know, like I'm praying every day on their pictures and their dancing videos. So I love them a lot, and I appreciate it so much what they are doing, how they dance or danced, and the way they communicate, the way their dedication to the dancing world. So this inspires me a lot. But also I love to watch, for example, Beyonce or Shakira, some shows, you know, what big singers or I don't know, stars are doing, and how much energy they are giving to what they are doing and what they are loving. So it makes it I get always goosebumps. Or I love also documentaries, you know, to watch
Sure, yes.
the way of some sportsmen or some superstars in which kind of area, yes, sport or actress, whatever. So I love to see the life of other people, you know, and their way to
how they
do.
live. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Now, before we move on, we have a question from our follower here in Alabama. Miss Becky Hamrick would like to says, I would love to hear from Artur and Anna about physical and mental training.
Yeah, you know, to be honest, we as we had the first lockdown, we couldn't practice at all, so all the halls were closed. But still we had in mind that we have our German close championship, which was very important to us this year. And to be honest, when people are asking us how you prepared for this championship, we mostly answered with our mental coach, because all 7 months we prepared, like, I don't know, sometimes weekly, sometimes once in 2 weeks, but we prepared a lot with our mental coach. And
sure, yes,
this was very, very important aspect for us, let's say, in this period of time and in this period of our dancing career. But of course, as Errol said also, this is a balance, you know, we need to cover a lot of aspects. It's not just also physical or mental preparation. Of course, we dance a lot. We go for physical preparation to the gym or to run outside, but it's also a lot what is coming from here. And actually we would say, even now we would say that more is coming from the head than actually from the body.
But it's always like that. It's like 80% mental and 20% physical. A lot of people are still not believing it, but it is like that for sure. And that's what helped us a lot.
Yes.
For the German closed, that we made it so much mentally.
That is, I agree 100%. Now, let's go to Mr. Errol and Veron. I ask all my champion panelists if we could please keep it slightly short, as the surprises I have for each of you, I think you will enjoy. I'd love, so let's keep it slightly short, but tell me, guys, who inspires you?
For me, I would say I'm very much, it depends on which area, but I would say in terms of with performing, Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr.,
yes,
all of those crooners, like this for me, I love. And this is something that I try to emulate when I'm on the floor, and I use, and I just am in that, how do you say, frame of mind, in that performance mode. In terms of life, I really, really like Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, all different people who in their own way, in their own regards, are some of the most, I guess, inspiring people. So when you feel really shit in the morning and you want to actually get up out of bed, you think back to some of these people and you're like, okay, let's get up, let's get going.
Yeah, for me also depends on which area of life you say, but if we're speaking about the performance, I really love to watch, and I have a goosebumps even thinking about people like Freddie Mercury, like Michael Jackson, people who were holding thousands.
Who left a mark in our history, who left a legacy.
Yeah, and also who the energy that they could keep of thousands of spectators, and they could give this emotions and they could give this energy. So if we speak about a big performance, then of course it's these type of people. If we speak about dancers, then of course my teachers, because one way, the way I choose my teachers and the way I believe where we have to go is if I respect and if the person inspires me by dancing, or maybe by explaining or by giving the feeling about the dance. That's the people I love to follow. That's the people I always try to keep up with, and we're always trying to take lessons. That's why I easily can say that all my teachers, that's who inspire me. And I think they fell down.
Yeah.
Artur, I think you fell down.
Yes.
Hello. One thing, I think, Artur, you inspire me. I would love to be able to speak both German and Russian.
And English. Yeah, and of course, if we're speaking about life, as Errol said, there's people like Tony Robbins, the motivational speakers, these people who we try to listen or read or just trying to keep it in our ear. And also I have one little secret. I will not really share it out loud, but I have one little book that each time when I have no power, when I have no motivation and I feel really low, there is a small little book, it's maybe 200 pages, and I always get back to this book. And maybe for the other people it's not really helpful, but for me it's book number one that I start reading it again and again already for last 6 years.
You can't not say what the book is now.
Right, we're waiting. What is the book? What is the book? Do I need this to be successful? What is the book?
Go on my Instagram and I will post about this book.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so there is one little book, honestly. It's very simple book. It's just about the early morning wake-ups and time management. And each time when I feel like, yeah, I don't really have time for anything, I don't really have time to do this or to do that, I don't really have motivation, each time I'm taking this book, doesn't matter where, from which page I start to read it, and I get this reminder like, Nika, that's your idea was there. You have to go there. You have to get this inspiration and just get yourself out of the bed, 6 a.m., you're out, you're doing things that will...
Yes, discipline.
She's at that at the moment as well. 6 a.m. she's gone. And I'm like, see you.
Baka.
Yeah, he hates me a little bit about that because each morning I'm making a little bit of noise when I'm waking up, like crawling through everything.
Yes. Making breakfast, and what is she doing?
No, breakfast actually.
No, she waits for me to make that, so that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. All right, moving on to Mr. Errol and Amy. What inspires you two?
Okay. No, I would actually say what inspires me, to make it kind of a little bit short, I feel like I get a lot of inspiration from a lot of different couples, top couples within the dance sport. I would say that my biggest inspiration would for sure be my bigger sister, because she's for sure the person that has kind of led the way for me and kind of shown me that it's possible to become 10 times world champion, and it's possible to, you know, to do everything. She's a role model for me, and a big one of that. I would say that. What about you?
Yeah, I would say I will instead of answering the question in terms of the dancing, I'll answer in terms of people outside the dancing instead. And people outside the dancing, I would say I really let's say, I look up to, I get inspired by hearing different stories from different people that have overcome huge obstacles and in the end still achieved incredible results, like Michael Phelps, or like Kobe Bryant, who was actually one of my favorite basketball players, you know, and it was so sad what happened with him and his daughter, but yeah, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, it's another one, Elon Musk, all these people. I think reading about Elon Musk's childhood and how he was bullied and stuff like this, and
You can really move someone emotionally to perform better.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly. And I think these types of stories, hearing these types of stories, really incredible for me, and it really puts things into perspective, because I really don't have anything to complain about in comparison with some of these people. So
I applaud you. I love that mindset. It is beautiful. Thank you. All right. And Mr. Cocky and Roberta, what inspires you two?
Okay, this time go to start.
What?
Cocky, you start.
Okay, thank you. Well, for me, it depends on the day, but usually I'm get inspired by Roberta and from her positivity every morning. I really need to sleep, and she's so active and she's so funny, and she's small Beyonce every day. So it's really inspiring to dance with her. And my family too. I get inspired by my family from everything that they did, from going from Bulgaria to Germany, and yeah, and a lot of sportsmen, but most of all from Roberta, because she's
I didn't expect
really
this. I have to. I didn't expect. No, I take my inspiration for sure. If you know me, from Beyonce, like Anna said before. Because she is so a power girl, and with her energy, and and she's always try to be unique, okay? And because for me it's very important, when you walk on the floor you have your own personality, okay? So I always out from the bottom, okay? Because if I take inspiration for me, from my idea, to another dancers, I think that I start to copy, okay? So I take inspiration from outside. So Beyonce is my all for me.
Queen Bey.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Now it's time for something. I would like to answer this question myself, but I'll answer it in a different way. My surprise to you guys are my inspirations, okay? I have surprise guests for you guys who are my top inspirational guys. The stories and the years of I've known each of them, well, from the camera, some of them in person, but just since I was a little boy. Okay, guys, just give you a little bit of introduction. So while I talk to these guests, if you guys think of any questions, let me know, okay? For now, I will say bye-bye to you guys, and then we will see you guys later in the marathon, all right? Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
Okay. All right, guys. Our first surprise guest is a man of multiple talents. He is professional division 10 dance world champion. His partner was previously on Scalora DanceSport. Ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about Anton Belyayev. How are you, Anton?
It's been a while.
Long time no see, buddy.
You guys look good.
You look even better. He's over here with his hair. You look good, bro.
I look like a lion.
Look at him.
Look at this. Covers my ears.
A big, strong, dominant lion. Look at you.
Look,
how are you today? Where are you? You're in Canada, yes? Oh, yes. Yeah. The feather I remember when we used to have lessons when I was a kid, the feather tattoo. I'm 18 now, so.
It like grew, like every time there would be new feathers.
The feather grows, the winds and grows.
After each lesson with one of us. Yeah. Feather.
It's like, how many are there today?
I got, Alessandro, I got your name tattooed here. You know that, right?
What is it?
I got your name tattooed.
Bravo. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Alessandro the Great, yes?
Scalora DanceSport.
Yes. We'll have to put it on our social media. All right, let's get into it. So, Anton, as a world champion, as a perspective from a world champion, looking
before we start, very important news.
Yes, tell us the big news.
Exclusive to Scalora DanceSport.
Davai.
I was positive with COVID. I got tested positive with COVID.
No. Oh.
Okay.
I'm actually quarantining right now. It's been the past like 5 days. Yeah. I mean,
so don't visit you for a while.
So I guess we'll be seeing a lot of Zoom,
Lots of Zoom
classes
meetings.
from you.
it's not that Anton has COVID. It's COVID has Anton.
Oh,
There you
that's
go.
how you look
There
at
you
it.
go.
There you go.
Bravo. That needs to be on a quote, on a shirt. Anton Belyayev, hashtag Anton.
Like the new Jack Norris quotes, you know?
Yeah. All righty, let's get into it. Anton, давай. As a world championship, your perspective as a world championship, looking at the style and the way things are today, what do you feel is the biggest change?
Okay, it's a very good question. Very good question, because I haven't seen any dancing for like 1 year already with the pandemic. But if we go back like right up before that, you know, funny enough, if you look in Russia, the competitions are going strong, right? Like from what I saw online, in US also they still hold some of the like pro-am competitions and stuff. I saw a few competitions with masks. Did you guys see that?
There are a few, yes, with the NDCA style. They're hosting some competitions, yes.
Right, with masks and stuff. I saw that.
Yes.
Send it to me. They're like, we don't want to do that. You have to.
You must.
If we look back over the past, I would say maybe 2-3 years, one of the few things that has really really stood out for me that's more than before. I mean, these things you notice once in a while, but what's really stood out is the fact that the younger generation, really the kids, kids,
the future,
under 12 years old, for example, they're developing very mature, advanced, very developed movements, and it's something that I was not exposed to when I was growing up. For example, kid dancers are actually treated as kid dancers. Kids have to be very, very strong, very fast, very precise, very robotic. Bam, 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 bam. But now you actually look at the younger generation, like 10 years old kids, 11. They're like little, gentlemen and ladies. It's really nice. It's really nice to watch. And chivalry. But some of them, they take it a step further. Some of them develop it to the emotional level as well. Like I think somebody was one of the guys who you were interviewing were saying before, to connect emotionally. Actually having an emotional experience. In order to connect your movement to is one thing. But when we talk about kids, 11 years old, how much hardship can they have? We don't really know exactly. But when they dance, sometimes it looks like, they're really into it. They're in love. They're very serious. They're going through hard times. Maybe not. I don't know. But that's what I'm seeing nowadays in ballroom dancing. And I think with access to social media and the internet and everything like that, you see a lot of kids like practicing, training, and all that kind of stuff. And it opens up your field of view to to how the Russians are doing it. That's like the
right.
How the Russians doing it. Because there's a good saying, it's like, it doesn't matter how much you train, there's always a
9-year-old in Russia that's way better than you.
Yeah, that's very valid lately.
No kidding. All right, so let's talk a little bit of a history. Let's talk about a precise moment, which I think many of us know what we're talking about, is the Paso Doble. Not the Paso Doble, the Paso Doble. Tell us, we have her perspective, but what about your perspective on the Paso Doble?
This moment is going to go down in history as like the Paso Doble moment.
Yes.
I don't remember the year exactly, but I remember this was one of those years where it was still common that the guys were wearing colored suits. Remember those years? Yeah, so it was a Canadian Championship. It was held in Calgary, Alberta. I was wearing a white suit, and we talk about full white. Like,
even the shoes?
Like your underwear has to be white because it shows it's the whole thing white, right? Like I had to extra brush my teeth just to make sure they're extra white too.
Extra white,
right? White out.
Yes.
You gotta look the part.
Yes.
It was the final. It was the final. This is the last round of the competition, and we're talking about the times. I don't remember the year exactly, but this was before the split of IDSF and WDC, and this was back
yes,
when
yes.
WDSF was actually called IDSF. So we're talking about like ancient years. Good old days. How old am I?
I was going to say, how many years is that?
It was the final Canadian championship. So we were already Canadian champions, I believe, for one or two or three times before that. So it was already not that we were defending champions of the title. We get to the final. There's a move in paso, in our paso routine. Our routine starts out like this pretty much. When everybody's running, when everybody's going really hard in the beginning, you know.
Sure, aggressive.
We actually stand still. We don't do anything for like 16 counts. I literally don't have a single step for 16 counts.
Okay.
And that's literally that's the contrast. But then after 16 counts, I go hard. And there's this one move where Antoinette, she has to bend back. And then I kind of slice my hand over her, like that type of stuff. And we're standing dead right in the center. We're standing right in the middle. Like, you know, the disco ball, you know, like we're right under the disco ball, like right there. And in the final, when she bent back, there was a couple coming right at her. So she's bending back. She can see them kind of like everything looks upside down. So she sees them just charging at her. So she just instinctively gets up. And I mean, I'm in my zone, right? I got the whole, you know, the matador, you know, the whole
aggressive, yes, dominant.
I just whack her right on the head, like right on the forehead. And it's like, since then everything's like slow-mo, you know, and she just goes down. She's knocked out. She's out. Like we're talking about, she's out cold.
What do you even do at that point?
You know that emoji with the, you know,
with the X's, yeah.
Okay, that was her for like a split second. So I'm like, I'm standing over her, and you know, it's the moment right before the bridge in the music. After the first 4/8, there is the part of the music that goes like da 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 da. You know that part. So she wakes up at that moment, and she's just looking at me. You can see in her eyes that she has no idea where she is, who I am, what she's doing there. You can see it's like oblivious, completely oblivious. She gets up, something gets back into her, and she just charges like, I can't swear, right? I mean, I'm gonna keep it really like
for our younger viewers.
She goes nuts. I'm gonna be like Gary V, you know? F-bomb. So after this, she gets up and she goes like crazy nuts, like energy level 200. We're talking about like steroids. And then at the end, when the dance was over, I'm like, listen, I'm sorry. Like we're standing waiting for the next dance. I'm like, sorry. She's like, what are you sorry for? I'm like, I knocked you out. She's like, oh, you did that? She thought that is the other couple who knocked her out. So she was so mad. And she was so like really energetically charged. Like good, it's a good thing it happened in Paso, not in Roomba.
The adrenaline,
yeah. And at the end it turned out Paso, I think we got clean first. It was a clean dance to win. Yeah, I can't hear these guys. Can't hear you guys for some reason. Nada.
Oh,
thank you so much, Anton.
I was on mute. Anton, thank you so much for stopping by.
COVID is getting into my ears. I haven't lost my taste or smell, but I lost my hearing. Okay.
Okay. All right, Anton, thank you so much. All right, guys. Let me fix this. There we go. Alrighty. All right. So this next guest is one of my top inspirations. It seems as if, ladies and gentlemen, while we take 2 seconds to wait for our surprise guest, I'd like to thank each and all of the champions for for showing and coming today. I feel I've learned so much from each one of you guys. But in the meantime, as we wait, I think we will bring back our Bulgarian friend Anton and ask him one more question. All right, Anton, look at his face. Hello, Anton. Welcome back. Long time no see, buddy.
Long time no see, guys. You've changed so much.
All right, Anton, I have one question for you. What inspired you to become a YouTube channelist? Recently, we've seen on your Facebook that you've been posting YouTube videos and many videos that have to do with financial problems and money things. Where did this come from?
From my financial problem. No, but I've always been a huge fan of cinematography ever since I was in high school. I was taking these film courses and stuff, and I was actually, hold on, let me see if I have. Look what I have.
In the meantime, what is this?
This is a movie I made.
Dundee from The Office?
I made in high school, and I actually won a contest for this. So this was my first trophy collection before all the ballroom trophies started coming in.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, so because of the pandemic, I started doing videos for my students, and that brought back kind of those, editing skills and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, hey, why stop doing this? I'm enjoying this so much, actually. Why not just take it up a notch and then start a YouTube channel, doing something like that. And then I was always interested over the past actually several years into I've been a lot in finance and figuring out ways how to make different passive incomes and all that kind of stuff. So I decided to share my journey with the rest of the world, and hopefully with the rest of the dancing world too.
Sure, of course, that makes sense. That's very nice. We hope to see new videos soon, very soon.
As soon as I get out of this place. As soon as my quarantine is up.
All right, Anton. Now, hopefully this is the last time we say goodbye to you and a big thank you.
All right, I guess.
Right, goodbye. All right. Before we move on to our next guest, looks like our audience member Sabo has a question for you, Alex. Sabo would like to ask Alex, where did he buy that nightgown? You all look great. Where did you buy this one?
This is a good question. I think I bought it from Ross. So next time you're in the US, I'll take you. Yeah, I like this. This is like my special sweater, I guess.
It looks good. So if you want one, we can mail you one. Alrighty, now, ladies and gentlemen, our following guest is very inspirational to me. He's very inspirational to many dancers. He holds many motivational. He's multiple times world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, here we have Mr. Vladimir Karpov. Vova!
Oh my God, excuse me.
Как дела, Vova?
Have my day nap, guys.
Too early for that.
How are you today?
Survive. Beautiful.
Surviving. How's the weather? Are you in New York or New Jersey now?
In New York. Weather is actually quite nice right now. So in the morning it was sunshine, but right now, only one sunshine is here.
That's right. King. That's true. Now, as many of you know, Mr. Vladimir Karpov needs no titles. He's multiple times world champion, and
one time world
champion. Excuse me. One-time world champion. But as many of you know, he has many students, many amazing students. So with these students, obviously you give them very nice advice. So I ask you, Vova, what is the most fundamental piece of advice that you give to your students?
Guys, even like yesterday I talked with my guys because it was rounds and a group lesson. And usually I have different advice, but yesterday we talk about beautiful coronavirus.
Oh, okay. Anton, where's Anton?
Yeah, and basically I talk with them, don't spend the time and trying to take wherever you can, like right now, not tomorrow, not after tomorrow, just now. If you have a chance to take something, do it now, because we talk with the guys about the World Championship, which supposed to be last year for the couples who used to be junior two, youth couple, who should be the world champion this year, and they will never be the world champions in 2020. And yes, it's bad.
Even now,
no, it's actually. I know. It's also sad for you, Alessandro. You are not used anymore after. I don't know, 10 more.
No more use.
No more use. So yeah, and basically we talk about that. If you have a chance to take something, do it right now. Don't do it today, tomorrow, or don't do it after a few hours. Do it. Do it
now. We're not gonna continue, but yes.
I know.
Anton was partying right there.
I know, right? Actually, I'm watching the video from Anton, and I make the screenshot of the book, which he's like announced. It's my plan to read this book. Yeah, I know. I'm his biggest fan right now.
Hold on, let me bring him in. Where is he, Anton?
I can prove it.
And the Anton is back again.
Where's Anton?
Hello. I can show you actually. I'm not lying.
See? Good.
This is my next book.
Good. Vova, if you want, you can call me every time before you go to sleep, and I'll read you a few pages over the phone. Like a bedtime story.
Get the live version, the audiobook.
So cute.
Put it on Spotify so we all enjoy it.
Usually my daughter right now reads some books for me. Sorry, brother. So, but during the day, during the nap time, I'm ready. You see, I'm preparing the bed right now.
Aww.
So all good. Okay, headphones is ready. So
anytime.
Who wants to be a billionaire?
I'll
Thank
give
you so much, buddy.
books after this.
Thank you. Cool. First of all, I need to be done with this one.
Anton, we're expecting one from you too.
Right.
Bye, Anton. Oh, that was beautiful. All right, so moving on a little bit to your competitive career. You had many show dances, many dancers have seen it. But in your opinion, which of your show dances was your favorite and why?
I think the favorite show dance is it's quite difficult actually, because I mean all of them is make some marks on my heart, on my soul. Yeah, I mean the two special one, I think it's the I don't know how to say in English, Юнона и Авось and Avось. It was our first show dance together with my partner, with Maria, and the next and the second show dance is Schindler List, I think. This is for me. Look at this. My princess is coming to make my day.
Hello.
Camila, you want to say hello to guys?
Hello. Как дела?
Kiss, papa. Давай.
Oh, look at the father and daughter.
She's tired. You see,
hello.
family.
How are you?
You see, all family is here.
It's the Carpo family.
I know, right? Some of them are shoot. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, I mean the two show is like I said, Winona and the Wolf and Schindler List. First of all, Winona and the Wolf because it's like our first show with Maria, and the Schindler List is I think it's because many things is how to say right. many things is happening during the moment when we did the show. First of all, no one
historically, yes,
no one think that this show will be great, because even like when we danced this show on the few rehearsal before the national championship, everyone was like, okay, nice show. Some of our friends said, okay, nice show. I'm like, what do you mean nice? It should be like freaking awesome.
Yeah, after all the hard work, yes.
And everyone was like, fine. And it was kind of challenge, because for us it was important. And finally, it was not bad show, actually.
It was an amazing show. It has many people in tears, very emotional. As sometimes some of the beginner dancers I talk to, that's one of the most biggest videos that inspires them.
Wow, cool. That's great.
All right, now, your competitive career, you represented Russia. Now you live in the US. So let me ask you, why do you choose to represent the USA?
Actually, it looks like USA choose me.
Yes, we're very happy and grateful to have you.
Yeah, I mean, be honest, I mean, I don't think that we will stay here a long time with my wife. But when we came here, we have multiple friends here. We have a multiple conversation with the different people. And people say, why you need to go back to Russia? Or because they thought that here in the United States, I can be helpful for the WEDSF representative here. So and to grow up WEDSF division here. So we will see. I mean, I tried to do my best last 4 years, and it looks like if everything will be good, next few years it will be even more harder.
Even more great.
Yeah, but even more harder.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But you can do anything.
We can do it. We can do it. We can do it.
We can do it. Do it now. All right, Vladimir Vova, thank you so much for being on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Alessandro, what do you think? Should we make the post on Instagram with our web?
Yes, from the top, make it drop. Yes, we should. I think we would get a lot of it. We could go viral.
It was bomb. I think if we can post it, yeah, I think if we can post it on the Instagram or TikTok like we plan it, it could be huge.
Everywhere, it'll be everything. Maybe that it'll be just as big as your jive video.
I think so. I definitely
even better.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, guys. It was a pleasure to see you guys. Alessandro, it looks like you guys, Alex, also you guys, you have multiple people in Europe, more than me. You are guys so young. You see, Arturo Nan is here. All family Williams is here. Not all, but I think 1/4 of the family is here. Williams.
And now, my final surprise, no one knows about it except us, is going to bring another person from another part of the world.
Show me.
I'm gonna leave you here. Actually, I'm gonna leave you.
No.
Better
than that. I don't want to spend your time, guys.
All righty. Bye,
bye, guys. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
You too. All right, guys. Now this next guest, I haven't told anyone about. Only the three of us know. Now a little bit about this guest. It is a beautiful lady, which I grew up watching on TV. And watching her on TV, watching her give critiques, she is a judge on the Italian rendition of Dancing with the Stars. She is legendary in the circles of the ballroom dancing in any federation. Ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about Miss Carolyn Smith.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Look at Mama. Look at Mama.
I'm back.
Carolyn.
I love you. I love you.
Finally, I can see
At
you.
last.
Love you, Carolyn.
I love you too.
You just got so excited.
Yes. You just did a little part dance.
No, he's absolutely amazing. I have known him since he was a junior. Okay, at the German Open was the very first time when we done the camp. There was Nikovsky with all his couples, and I was there with all my Italian couples. And I'm telling you, it was so cool. He was a pain in the ass.
Are there any stories you could tell us on Vova?
Well,
that's a yes.
Maybe not live.
No, I never lie. I can honestly say I have worked with so many great dancers in my coaching career. And one of the ones that has stayed in my heart is Vova. He really does.
That's beautiful.
So sweet.
When Vic Nikolsky asked me to come to the studio and start to work with them, it was a little bit strange at the beginning, but I'm telling it, we just hit it off because I love people who are spontaneous. And I think that's one thing which is a tribute to great, excellent dancing. And that's what Vova has always done.
100%.
He always makes mistakes, but the thing I love about him, he can get out of every single mistake. Like his spinning.
Like the drive video. Iconic.
Too short story. First story that I want to say thank you so much. That with your help, actually, we made the first our Stuttgart final with your help.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and the second story, it's about one of the first lesson. We work in Rumba, and Caroline asking to like some stuff, how I should go behind my partner, and I feel her smell, and like to do like certain things. And Maria just get her new shampoo from China.
Oh, so it was good.
Make the hair strong. And the smell was like a Christmas tree, like, and when it was sweat, huge smell of Christmas tree, like huge.
Very festive.
I work on it, I think 30-40 minutes. I come to my partner and she's already sweat. And Caroline like feel her smell. Like I'm like, Jesus, I can feel her smell. When I took the studio. Yeah, it was really fun. I don't want to spend your time, Caroline. Thank you so much. And like
it's a big surprise. Super. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, and hopefully we will see you soon.
Yes, we'll keep in touch. Okay.
Say hi to Tina.
Okay. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye, Vova. All right, amazing, Miss Caroline. Let's begin.
Okay.
So, excuse me. Where and when did you begin your dance career?
Oh my God. I started when I was 4 years old, but I think I actually started to dance when I was in my mother's stomach.
Yes.
She always danced. And I've actually found out later in life that in Scotland, there's one of the most famous ballrooms where a lot of major championships were held, and it's called the Plaza Ballroom. And it was very famous because it had a fountain in the center. And I didn't realize that my house was 100 meters from that ballroom. So my parents went nearly every night to go and dance. And I was in a bread box sleeping.
Yes.
So I literally had to dance.
Wow. Okay.
That's how it all started.
Wow. So as we see, you've been in this dance career. Dancing is your passion. It's your career. So I ask you, what do you feel has been the proudest moment of your career?
Well, that depends on what part of the career. If it's something personal, oh my God. Most of the most special occasions is when I didn't win. It's when I used to get a standing ovation, because when I was dancing, I was never ever conventional. I always wanted to be different. And when my teacher used to say to me, no, you can't do that because that is not the style, I said, no, you teach me the technique that I don't know. I will take the responsibility of everything else. And I was only like 13, 14 years old when I said that. So I always got my own way, 100%. And then I remember there was a point where we couldn't get from Scotland to England very easily. There was no money. So we done a lot of practice by ourselves, no lessons, just remembering things and looking at when on the TV, black and white TV, we would see the musicals. And we used to practice a lot. And we done with Kenny McKechnie, I think I was only like, say, 17 years old, and we done the British closed youth championships. And,
oh wow, okay.
And we were actually quite pleased when we made the 24. And then we passed into the semi-final. And then when we get into the final, I didn't even realize that they called our number. So when I saw my dance partner on the floor, my dad said, "Move your ass, get onto the floor." And I literally fell off the chair and I ran out and we won the competition. So there, everything literally changed. Everything happened maybe a little bit too quickly because I was too young. We won the British closed. We won the British Open Youth. We came in fourth in the World Championship.
Wow.
There was too many things happening, and we came in like say seventh in the amateur, and then that screwed us up a little bit because unfortunately my partner and myself split up. But that was the best moments. But if we talk about being a teacher, for me, that gave me more satisfaction because I really live for the dancing. It's a passion, but it's life for me. And if I don't have it, for me, that is really, it's hard. It's like, so when taking, like say Volva, I have worked with so many champions, and it's great that they get success because they'll listen to me to do something different. And
because they trust the coach. Yes.
Yeah, because there's one thing that I heard before about being inspired by people. And I like the fact that the 4 couples before were saying that you have to trust your coach. You have to have one. And then you might have other experts around. And I think that is one of the most important things. And I must admit, I have been very, very, very lucky in all my coaching and teaching career, because all the kids that came to me, their parents had trust in us, or me and Tino. And they said, do whatever you want. And like say Nino, Stefano, Sinardi, there's loads of them, Silde, Volva. There has been so many around the world. And I'm so proud of that. That is, for me, is more special because I never wanted to compete, but the only way you could dance in my time, you had to compete. I wanted to just do shows, but in Great Britain, you can't do shows. So I'm not really interested in doing competitions, but helping the couples, getting them on the right way, on the right road. That for me is the biggest success ever.
That's amazing. Yes. Next question. What advice would you give to a youth dancer who has goals of becoming a world champion?
1, don't think of becoming a world champion.
Could you elaborate? Tell us. What do you mean?
No. Okay. If you think about winning, sometimes you don't get to the goal. If you have into your mind, I want to be the best dancer, I want to be unique, I want to be iconic, then you've got a chance of becoming a world champion.
To leave a legacy.
Yeah. But the thing is, I'm not criticizing anyone at all, but not all world champions were world champions.
Leave a legacy, yes.
Exactly. You've got to be remembered. Winning a competition is great, but the moment that you win a world championships and then you move on to another category or you finish, there's a new world champion. So if you really are a champion, iconic champion, the moment that you actually finish, you are remembered. That's when you become a world champion.
So to be a little bit philosophical, you mean to like a champion in life, a little more a champion in life.
Yeah, it's about being good at life.
Yeah, the thing is, it's so nice to be remembered for something. Because if I ask, like, say, some of the dancers before, the 4 couples, who was the world champion in 10 dance in 1976? Did they know? I can actually say no. I can't even remember. Okay, so it's nice to, remember dancers for something really, really great. which I think is very, very important.
That is very true. And I would like to tell you, you left a very big legacy in the world, in this dance world, which I ask you, do you feel it is harder to become a world champion, or do you feel it is harder to leave a legacy?
I would say the second. It depends, because how I work with every student, for everyone who comes into my studio, I treat them exactly the same, even though some people say I don't. It's not true. It depends on who they are and what they, how can I say, take from what you're saying. Because I give the same information to everyone, then I start to say, okay, what is your defects and what is the things that you do good? Can we use the defects? And I love defects, because that's
how to use the flaws to your advantage.
Yes, there is so many, and if you can use that to your advantage. So I try to teach people to be as individual as possible, because at the present moment, in the past maybe 10 years, there is too many people trying to copy, and then that becomes a photocopy of a photocopy. Then it becomes transparent, which means you don't see what's there. I would prefer who has more defects, but they are saying something, but just make it look better. So becoming a legacy is very hard, but also becoming, if you want to say, a world champion is exactly the same thing. It depends on where your priorities, but they have to concentrate. If you want to win, you have to be a winner within your dancing. You have to be convinced. They have to practice. That one thing I heard before about sacrifices, well, we don't sacrifice. This is life for us. If it's a sacrifice, get out of the dancing, because it shouldn't be a sacrifice, because it's something that we choose to do. You choose to dance or you don't choose to dance. So you just, it's a way of life. It's a way of living. It's your breathing. It's the air that we breathe. So for me, the couples
couldn't imagine a world without it.
Oh God, no. And particularly in this moment that you nominated the fact of the COVID. Okay. Now this is a great, for me, I never think of anything negative. This is one thing which is good about me. Even in this situation, I say to the couples, it's not that bad. Hopefully no one gets it, but you have to take this opportunity to actually stop and work on your dancing, because lately, it doesn't matter whether it's WDC or WDSF, there is too many competitions. So the couples are stressed out. They have to do the competitions every week, because if they miss something out, then they just might miss on occasion. Okay. So they don't have time to practice. They don't have time to sit down and reflect in, okay, what do we have to actually work on? So they just go on something which is quite automatic, which for me, you cannot develop. You can become
yes,
but you don't, how can I say, manage to change certain things. In this present moment, it has been a great time. I'm trying to preach to as many dancers as possible, is to stay at home. You don't need a dance studio to dance or practice. You just need, like, say, 2 meters by 2 meters, and you can do one hell of a lot of exercise
and do basics, right?
Exactly.
Quality, yeah.
Yeah, it has to be done that way. And then they should have more hunger, because I've heard so many dancers being quite disappointed because there's no competitions and they've given up. And that is a shame.
If the discipline and the wanting to do it, then I don't think one would say, oh no. I think the longer that we don't have competitions, the more and more and more inspired, motivated, hungry we become.
Yeah.
You have to be hungry, which means I can't wait to see the first competitions when the whole world opens. I want to see the results. And I'm hoping that someone has listened to many, many top coaches and saying that you have to do something at home and work on yourself. If it doesn't happen, I'm going to be really pissed off. And I'm sure I'm going to do some videos insulting people, because the moment that the excellence has to come out.
Bye-bye on Scalora DanceSport.
We'll have you back.
We'll have you back. Well,
I'll come, no problem.
I love all this perspective. I'd love for you to be able to come to the US one day and do something here with the federation here. It would be amazing. Now, moving on.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes, ma'am.
I like to listen to the couples, okay? And one thing I want to say to Errol, he has got a great attitude. I've known him since he was quite young, and when I used to go to Denmark. And I love the fact that he said about getting inspiration from Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., but the fact that he's also into Tony Robbins, Kiyosaki, all dancers should be there. And that small book that, let's say, she was reading, Veronica, I would like to say one book, and I have been preaching about this book for years. I got it by pure chance when I was 14 years old, and for me, it's a Bible. It's called Psycho-Cybernetics, and it's by Maxwell Maltz.
Okay, I'm gonna find it.
It's amazing. It's 60 years old, exactly the same age as me, because it was written in 1960, but it's not old at all. It gives you so many answers. When you read it, you think, oh my God, I knew this, but I have to apply. It's wonderful. I got all my success with this book. Mentally.
Wow. We will leave a description on social media. We'll post a picture for everyone to have it in the audience.
Cool.
Moving on to our next segment, let's talk about Ballando con le Stelle. Don't worry. We won't speak about any seasons. We will speak only about the history for you.
Okay.
Actually, one of my coaches is Salvatore Todoro and Raimondo. I was hoping maybe he could do a quick show today. A quick say hello. Now, let's begin. How did you become involved with Ballando con le Stelle, the Italian rendition of Dancing with the Stars?
Okay, this was really funny. Because Ballando started in 2005 when Strictly Come Dancing started, because Milly Carlucci, which is the presenter, saw it in London. And I watched it for 3 years. And so many people said to me, why don't you do it? I said, nah, I don't have time to do something. I've got too much work, which was correct. But on the third season, Espen Sahlberg was judging the competition. He was on the show as the head judge. And then Espen decided to go to Bali. So they were looking for a new judge. But Milly Carlucci likes people that are foreigners, but who speak Italian, okay?
If I could please interrupt just one second. Since you said that, I would like to audition for the role of Carolyn Smith, 10 per un totale di 35 punti. If anyone sees this, Milly Carlucci, per favore, voglio lavorare per te.
Allora, se lo dico.
Dai, per favore, metti il nome Alessandro Scalora per quello che fa l'annunciatore.
Va bene. Allora, diciamo che stavo cercando e hanno chiesto al cast.
Miss Carolyn, in inglese, per favore.
Sorry, it's so easy to fall into the Italian. So Milly Carlucci was asking some of the cast, do you know anyone? So everyone kept saying Carolyn Smith. Okay, so I was down in Naples teaching Gaudino. And I got this telephone call. I said, this is Emiliano. I'm Milly Carlucci's secretary. She would like to speak to you for Ballando con le Stelle. And I don't like swearing, but I will say this in Italian. I said, vaffanculo.
That's funny.
Which means,
That's funny.
I put down the telephone. So I just disconnected. Then Mario Pisu, who was, he's one of the best tailors, and he was working in the show. And he called me 10 minutes later and he said, listen, Emiliano, Milly Carlucci's secretary, will call you. And I went, oh my God, he's just called me. And I told him where to go. I thought it was a joke because so many, particularly down in Naples, everyone says, why don't you go? Why don't you go? So I thought someone actually, it was a hoax that they just called me for a practical joke. And I didn't realize. So I called Emiliano back and I said, I'm really sorry. I said, I didn't want to be rude, but I still don't want to do Ballando con le Stelle. But when I got back home, my mother-in-law, I told her, and she nearly fainted. And I said, no. I said, I get too much work. No. You gotta go, because I've got to tell all my friends that my daughter-in-law's on the television.
We have to get some street credit too.
So I just went down for the let's say the meeting, but I just wanted to say no, but I wanted to meet her anyway. So I didn't realize Millie is very strong like me, and she convinced me to do.
Yes, ma'am.
2007. It's not even 1 year. It's 2007, and we've just finished it 2020. So it's been a nice journey. It's really good. This year was a little bit hard because of the COVID, because every time you go into the studio, if you've spoken with Raimondo, it's been a nightmare every time, because so many people being positive, and then stopping the practice, the rehearsals. But we managed to finish the program.
Yes. I had Raimondo on Scalora DanceSport a few months ago, and he gave amazing and very inspirational stories.
Yeah.
Now, for our final question, Ms. Caroline, I'd like to ask you, what do you feel is the biggest, still in the topic of ballando, what is the biggest difference in TV dancing and competitive dancing? Besides the lips.
Oh God. The thing is, it is so hard. Well, put it this way: for me, it's easier to judge, like say, an official competition, okay? Because we have our rules and regulations. It's easier. I've been judging for 5 years, so it's easy. When you've got, like say, people who don't know how to dance, and they are literally, like say, ballando, to let people understand, ballando in Italy is totally different from Dancing with the Stars in America and Strictly Come Dancing in the UK, because the other two countries keep the dancing quite simple. So you can see a quick step, you can see a cha-cha, da-da. In ballando, we see people flying around the floor all over the place. So that is quite hard, and people get injured quite easily. But it's hard because they're trying to do so many choreographies, and the fact that one comes out one after the other, and you never know what the performance is like from the other. So I find it quite hard. It's very emotional, because what I do like is that when the VIPs come onto the show, they then realize, because they think it's just a game, okay? They don't take it that seriously right from the beginning. But once they start to do the first practices, they think, wow, we've got to do one hell of a lot of work. So they start to have more respect for the dancers and the dancing, because I always say, particularly in Italy, we're second-class citizens. They think, oh, you can dance like this. No, we do so much to train our bodies, our mind, and everything to do it. So at the end of the 10 shows, I'm really happy that normally 99% of all the VIPs love the dancing, and they want to continue after, because they make a big change in themselves. We all, as dancers, we all know how much power dancing has to change your personality, to find out who you really are. And this is great to see this process from the beginning to the end. But it's really hard, because sometimes, like I say, they take it as a game, and then they become serious about it, and then they start to become experts about it after like say doing it for 2.5 months, and they think they've become really experts. I'm saying, fly down.
Seems like my cousin says, Carolyn, can you rate Alessandro how he's doing 1 to 10?
10.
Bravo. 10 per un totale di 35 punti. Sono serio. Che dici a Emilio Carlucci? C'è un americano in Atlanta che vuole fare quel lavoro.
Va bene. Quanto sei alto?
Io sono, come si, in American terms, 5'11", 5 foot 11 inches.
That is cool, because she likes tall guys.
Awesome. Good. La Carlucci, allora dai. Ora ci vediamo. Also, here in Dancing with the Stars in the US, not to say any mean things, but Tom Bergeron is looking to come back soon. If you're familiar with Tom Bergeron, he's our host in the US. So, you know, if Milli Carlucci, I'm sure he could learn Italian in 2 seconds and put him on Dancing with the Stars over there.
Okay, well, I'll come over there so I can speak English.
Ecco. Portiamo, yes. All right. Allora, ti stavo per ringraziare in italiano. All right, Carolyn, thank you so much for stopping by. You are a big inspiration to many of us. Seeing you,
it was an honor.
It really is an honor.
Thank you so much.
Being able to speak to you right now. I remember with my mother, with my father, with my sister, watching you on TV, watching Raimondo. I met Raimondo in the summer of 2017, and I was able to take lessons with him. And now speaking to you, it's a dream come true. So you left that legacy that we talked about for many dancers, for me, for you. And for 1 second, I'd like to leave you on 2 seconds while I bring back my champions, as they would like, if they have any questions for you. Yes, ma'am?
Okay.
All right, let's bring back to the floor Roberta and Cocky, Errol and Amy, and Anna Artur, and Errol and Veronica. All right, guys.
Hi, Errol. How are you?
Hi.
Errol and Errol. God, I can't get the difference there. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing great. It was so great to actually see that it was you. Wow. I've really missed being able to actually see you. Wow.
Cool. How are you doing? Good.
Very good. Very
Cool.
good. We're second place at the European Championship now.
Wow.
So that's
congratulations.
Yes, they placed second,
So
and
it's going
Errol
good.
and Amy placed third. It was amazing.
We had a family fight for the podium.
Williamsons were attacking.
But all of you guys are honestly, by listening to what you have been saying, each one of you gave me hope that the dancing is going in the right direction, because I'm very critical about where the dancing's going at the moment. And some of you know me personally, and you know I am a pain in the ass. If something goes wrong in the wrong way, I open my mouth and I have a big discussion worldwide. But you guys are really cool. Keep going. Remember, you guys are the future for the dancing, and you have that responsibility to pass all the information on, and the passion and the reality of the dancing. Okay? If not, I'll be on to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Carolyn, thank you so much. Hope to see you very soon.
Okay.
Ciao, Caroline.
Ciao. Ciao.
To my 4 champions, guys, I'd like to thank you personally in front of everyone. I'd like everything you guys have done for me. You've shared, you've publicized, you've been here, you shared your stories for all of the world to see. I'd like to thank you personally. It was amazing to hear from each and every one of you guys.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And great job. A fantastic thing you're doing here. It's fantastic. Very well done.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Hope to see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, Claire, I'd like to thank you as well for being as well
Thank
on
you
here.
very much.
And Alex, thank you so much, guys.
Glad to be here.
This was the last event for Scalora DanceSport for the year. So, guys, we will be enjoying our holidays on Scalora DanceSport, and we'll see everyone in January. Bye-bye.